And then whenever you have a question, feel free to ask, okay? So I like to do my classes as if we are having a discussion like a class. I used to teach in a class setting, and I love that. So whenever you have a question, you might have the ability to put your hand up. If not, I have the chat up, so feel free to just like say, hey, I got a question, and then we'll go from there. And so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chas, and my titles are I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 2 teenagers, and I'm a business coach. So I have been coaching businesses and teaching them for the past 5 years, and I've been in business since my early 20s, so over 20 years now, and I've only worked at a day job for 3 years, and it's not my jam. And and that's why I love being self-employed, because this is what I'm made to do, and coaching is what I'm made to do. And so my goal is to help women create a life that they love, using business as a tool. And so, yeah, business is just a tool to get you there. And so a lot of us start businesses because we're highly passionate about what we do, right? Like, you're really good at something. And so, and it's like, let's start a business doing this. And then you start to do the business and you're like, shit, I don't know how to market. All of a sudden, there's no time in my calendar anymore. I have no life. And it's like, so reality sets in, and then you're like, I'm not getting the clients that I want, and I'm working 18 hours a day, and this isn't why I started a business, and I know. And so when I started the coaching business, I started so that with the understanding that I am creating the business that I want. And so working the hours that I want. And I've burnt out in every other job and business that I've had. And so I'm like, this is not going to happen. And so we are not burning out in this go round. And so that's where I've come up with 3-hour workday. And so to prevent burnout, allow you to live your life, right? Like, we have lives outside of our business, and I think it's important to live those lives. We're talking plural now. All righty. So today we're going to talk about cutting down your to-do list. So we're going to do a time audit. So in the group chat, there is a 3-hour day calendar. So if you click on that, you could print it off later, or it's at least a template for you on like just the time slots and whatnot. And so I want you to start looking at that now while I give you the overview, because what we're going to do is start doing a time audit on 2 days of like exactly what you did when. Because in order to start cutting things down, you got to figure out what you're actually doing in order to cut those things down, right? So if all of a sudden you're like, oh, I guess I was like scrolling Facebook for like 4 hours yesterday, and okay, Sundays are different, but let's say that was a Monday, and you realize that all of a sudden you're scrolling Facebook for 4 hours, and it's like, okay, well, let's cut that down, and that'll save you a whole whack load of time. So anyway, so in a time audit, we've got to cut down or identify where you're spending your time in order to make the cuts. Okay, cool. And then we're going to talk a lot about mindset too, and we're going to talk about like the essentials then to do to grow your business in tactics and in mindset. And so, Coolio, how's Rachel today? Alrighty, okay, so if you want to open up that 3-day calendar, I want you to take a minute and just like pick like Wednesday or Thursday from last week, and like just think of like, okay, what did I do from, I think I have it, where did I have it, at starting at like 5:30 in the morning or something, some ungodly hour like that. So if you're still sleeping, just leave that blank, or you can adjust the times as you want, but really think of like, what were you doing at every half-hour increment? And that might take a little bit of work, but I want you to start thinking about that and start jotting some ideas. I'm going to keep talking a little bit while you do that, just so it's not boring when people watch the recording. And
Sorry,
Yeah,
Chaz, I'm not seeing the calendar. It's supposed to be in the chat.
it should be in the chat as an attachment. Here, I'll send it again. I did it before, so maybe that's why it's not showing up. So we'll just do that again. Coming.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I'm so excited that you lovely ladies are here. Okay, so what were you doing? What time do you guys normally wake up? Tell me. No shame.
7:30.
What time was that, sir?
7:30.
7:30? Shailene, when do you usually wake up?
Between 7 and 8.
Yeah, cool. And awesome. Okay, so what do you do first thing in the morning? Hey, Tammy, if you do want to join, I'm going to put the link to the Zoom in. And where am I? Ooh, you're a 5:30 girl. Fantastic. Okay, what are the first things that you do first thing in the morning? How you set your morning really sets for the tone of the day. And yes, I don't want to go into like morning routines right now, but I want you to start listing the things that you actually do during the day so we can talk about what needs to be cut. So as you're doing that, I'm going to start to talk about the essentials that you need to do to grow your business. Okay, so that's where we work into the 3-hour workday. So 1, you need to market your business. Okay, you need to figure out, like, get people to know who you are, like, and trust you before they're going to buy from you. Okay, so marketing your business, you need to do some admin. Like at some point in your life, you need to either create like the workbook or create the landing page, or you need to create your messages and do your scheduling. Then you need to like do your bookkeeping. Don't forget the bookkeeping. And then you need to do the planning, you know? So those are part of the admin things that you do. And then you need to sell. Your business is not going to go anywhere unless you start selling. And so there's different ways you can sell, different avenues you can sell for each of those. Like Shailene's doing really well with going wholesale. Hey, so excited on you. So excited about that. And cheers, coffee break. All right, so let's break down the essentials and what you need to do. So like I said, people need to know who you are before they can buy from you. Okay, so let's brainstorm all the ideas of how people can get to know who you are. Let me know. What are you thinking?
You could do live videos or send out a monthly newsletter.
Cool.
Do an Instagram post.
Instagram post, fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say social media.
Yes. Any other ideas? So do you guys usually use mostly social media to get your name out there?
I do.
Yeah.
You could join probably groups too, similar groups.
Join similar groups? Similar
Yeah.
groups as who?
So for me, like if I'm selling planners or doing templates, I could always join a group for, if I'm on Etsy, join maybe an Etsy group and let people know who I am. Not really sell them anything, but just let them know who I am.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. Alrighty. So yeah, social media is really an easy way to help people know who you are. So one way I like to look at attraction marketing. And so attraction marketing is people finding you, right? So instead of you going into people's DMs and you sending out like buy from me today kind of messages, let's look at this as attraction marketing. So this is where it comes through your content and it comes through lives, honestly. And so I know a lot of people in our group are introverts, and so doing live scares the shit out of you. And that's okay, right? Either you like see the value in it and see that it does work, or what I've told Rachel too is like, do what you do best. So if you're good at lives, then do more lives. Like I've gotten clients straight off lives, right? So because I'm good at lives and because I'm just good in front of people, like that's just who I am, right? And but other people are really good writers,
All right.
right? So if you're a really good writer, write, right? And so then write those posts. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna like create a calendar of like what to post when and how often. So that's gonna be tomorrow, and I'll send you like a calendar template for that and everything. And but we do want to talk about a little bit about how people are attracted to you through the content that you post. And so then it's really important to know who your ideal client is and the pains that they are going through that would lead them to you. So can everybody say, like, what is the pain point of your ideal client? Can you like flat out tell me that?
Not having enough time to create content.
Cool. Shailene, what's a pain of your client?
Feeling a lack of purpose, stress, and overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose for myself, I'm in interior design, so lack of direction or project management skills.
Yep, totally. And as somebody who needs an interior designer, it's like I don't have that creativity. Like I just can't honestly picture like what I can find the end result on Pinterest or something, but I can't put into plans of how to make that work. Like I've tried and I just can't, right? Like, so, and I know I'm not alone in that, where it's like you find a picture on Pinterest of what you want your living room to look like, and then it's like, well, what do I do? Right? Tammy says hers are like her ideal client is busy, right? Okay, so now how do you solve their problem? How do you solve that problem?
For me, it's very visual, I think, for clients and having them understand, I think too, having them understand that they're actually paying me for my time as well as my expertise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you could go out and buy all the things, but you don't necessarily know how it goes together.
Right?
in a quicker way, right? So.
And you have a scattered house that looks like mine. Nice things, but just like in the wrong place. Rachel, how do you solve people's problems?
So mine would be creating it for them. So sometimes they might be able to be, like you said, maybe a good writer, and they just aren't good at creating the content themselves. So I would create the content for them, and it saves them the time. And it'll be a lot easier for them to just get what they need out when they need it out. Perfect.
Cool. All right. So you get the idea. So now when you create content, you're talking to those things. So you create content of like, oh, are you struggling with being busy? Like here's 3 tips on how you can be less busy, or like, here's, I know like maybe you have no idea how to design your living room. Here's 3 tips to make it really easy to make it look like there is an interior designer in your house, things that you're giving away value. You're positioning yourself as the expert in your field. So you're positioning yourself as the expert at what you do. Okay? And so that makes sense to everybody. Like, what could you do? So Rachel, you have a question.
Oh, no, I just sneezed. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So positioning yourself as the expert in your field. And so how to solve people's problems of interior design. How to solve people's energy problems. So say it, right? And always have the call to action. So what is your call to action? Your call to action, like you might see it on different posts, is called a CTA. CTAs are call to action. So every post that you have is like a CTA, because what if that one time that person is like, ooh, that post was like bang on. How do I contact that person? Okay, so it might seem repetitive if you always have link in my bio or, DM me or something, but you're getting your people engaged in the content that you create. And as people engage with you, then it helps your algorithm, especially on Instagram and Facebook, to help other people see you. Okay, so let's go into getting more people visible. Let's talk hashtags for a second. Okay, so I know we've talked hashtags in our group quite a bit, but okay, here's the deal. Have 5 different sets of hashtags. And those hashtags, you can have up to 30 hashtags per set. Try to use all of them. And because it just exposes you to a greater audience. Then on your Instagram, you can do a search to see how many posts are in that hashtag. And so you don't want them to all be over 1 million, because then you're just going to get lost in this sea of posts, right? And so you want to have like maybe 1 over 1 million, then you want to have like the mediums and the smalls. Just keep it simple. There is different, I have a chart in the group of like the rainbow of all the different sizes that you can have, but let's just say small, medium, and large, so that you can attract a lot of different people. So then every day, so now I'm going to talk to you about the 20-20-20 rule. I know if you're in my group, you've already heard this a lot. 20 minutes of just connecting with people. So you can go to those hashtags and you can follow. You can go to other people's posts and just follow people. And so do follow for follows, and it helps build your audience. Okay, so just connecting with people, and then you can send like a little message that says, thanks for the follow. How's your week? Thanks for the follow. Like, I help people like make their homes look magical. What's your favorite room in your house? Doing things to start a conversation in their DMs. Stories, whenever you leave a comment on people's stories on Instagram, it goes straight into their DMs. So that's a great way to get into people's DMs and engaging with them. So which leads me to your next 20-20 is spending 20 minutes of just engaging with people. So those could be those new follows that just followed you and engaging in a conversation with them. Though that could also be in going to those hashtags or other people's posts and commenting on their posts. So if you can go to like 5 different posts, either from your hashtags or people in your newsfeed, and leave comments of at least 4 words. And so something more than just like, that was good, but like, why was that post good? So take about 20 minutes doing that. And then the other 20 of the 20-20-20 is still more engaging later on.
I just have a question about, sorry, Chaz, a question about commenting on, because the first thing I did was actually just follow all of the designers that I possibly could, in Alberta kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have commented, and I do have a couple of them are my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do comment on theirs. I've heard it kind of a double-edged sword, but I think that if I'm trying to build, like getting into that audience, that's beneficial. Would you agree? Or
yeah,
okay,
totally. But the one thing is that then you're also preaching to the audience, right? Like, so when you're talking to other designers, it is really good for collaborations, right? Like super good for collaborations, but then start to look on the people that are commenting on their posts, because those might be your ideal client, right? So that's where it's really helpful to comment on people who are also in your industry, and go into their posts and like the people who like their post, and do some snooping, do some stalking, and sounds creepy, but this is social media. Because really you want to find your ideal client, right? And you want to have those people following you, and you want to follow the other interior designers, because you get like more inspirations and stuff like that, right? And ways to collaborate. But then you don't want designers following you, right? Like Rachel, you don't want other creatives, like planning creatives, following you. Like, what good does that do, right?
Yeah.
You need the coaches who want to use your tool to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
right? Coolio. All right, so keep asking questions. Like, feel free to keep asking. So that's the 2020. So now let's look at your list of things that you've written out through the day. Look at what you've all written down, and is that a marketing tactic, an admin tactic, or a selling tactic? What is that? If it's anything other than one of those three, can you cut it out? Can it be done tomorrow? Is anybody going to be morally or ethically like hurt if it doesn't get done right now? Right? Brian Tracy has this video, it's like 4 minutes, and it's called Eat That Frog, and he has a book on it, but save time reading a book and just watch a 4-minute video. And it's just prioritizing. And so he's got the ABCDE method. A, if it does not get done today, you will lose a client. Somebody's going to get sick or hurt. Like, these are the urgent things that need to get done. And those also might be the things that you hate doing the most. Do them first. Do them first thing in the morning, get it out of the way, and then you don't have to think about it for the rest of the day, and it frees up your mind, right? And so then making a list of only 3 things to do. So one is that major priority thing, and the thing that you hate to do those first, and then, okay, what could wait till tomorrow? So if you look at your list of all the things that you do, what could wait till tomorrow? What could wait till next week? Okay? And those are the things that it's okay to put off, because the things that need to get done today need to get done today. Otherwise, it's going to eat at you. It's going to drive you crazy. So just do it, right? And so that's one way that I like to stay focused and really intentional about what I'm doing. Is it a selling, is it a marketing, or is it an admin thing? If it's not, it can wait. Is anybody going to be hurt? Like, sometimes kid's sick, I have to go to school to pick up that kid, right? Like, it doesn't get to wait till tomorrow. Right? Some things just need to get done today. And but try to keep that list to 3 things, and be flexible with yourself, and give yourself grace and permission to allow yourself to listen to your body and listen to your mind when you're feeling overwhelmed, to stop. Okay? If you're getting to the overwhelmed stage, either your body's going to make you stop, or you can choose to walk away. Like, my husband's a king of being able to just walk away from stuff. I know, telling me that all the time. Don't punch the computer chest. It's not the computer's fault. Just walk away. Right? Just walk away. And so go take a nap. Like, do what you need to do to feel like a queen, which leads me into like putting on your crown and like being your highest self. And so, is what you are doing on your list making you feel amazing, or is it dragging you down? So if anything on that list is dragging you down and sucking your energy, find ways that you can put it off, that you can delegate it, or that you can just cut it. A lot of the things that we add to our list don't actually need to get done. And so learning to identify what those things are based on how it makes you feel. Okay, so because people are attracted to you when you're in your highest authentic self. You know, when you are like being who you are put on the planet to be, that's when people come to you so much easier. And that's going to get reflected in your posts that you create. And that's going to get reflected in any calls that you have, even in like the packages and everything that you do. It all gets reflected into that. So wearing your crown and like, what makes me feel amazing? So I'd like to hear, what are some of the things that you do that make you feel amazing?
I actually put a makeup on now.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's the little
I
things.
used to just not bother because I'm home and I'm like, okay, well, no one's really going to see me unless like I have to do a Zoom or something. Mm-hmm. So now I make it a priority every day when I get up, put makeup on.
fantastic. I'm not saying that everybody has to wear makeup, but I'm like that too. Like lip gloss goes a long way in my world. Like
Sure does.
eyeliner is like a dead ringer. Like I don't leave the house without eyeliner, but like um, the lip gloss goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do?
I think
Shani?
I
Oh,
think
go
like
ahead.
for
Go ahead.
me, I think for me it's just like making sure I walk my dogs in the morning or work out or whatever it is. Like make sure that I'm fitting that in because I feel much better when I do, even if I have to sacrifice something else.
Yeah. So good. So good. And that like goes into like setting a boundary for yourself. So like knowing what makes you feel awesome and setting the boundary to protect that. So if you know that working out every morning makes you feel good, hold yourself accountable to doing that. You know, if you know that like, this is interrupting me, this is like infringing and making me feel low, then say no, you know, like learn to put up boundaries. Again, I don't want to go into a whole talk about boundaries, but boundaries I feel like are one of the biggest things that have helped me protect my energy, and also knows like, yeah, helped me like figure out what needs to get done. I am done work. I got to go pick up my kids at 2:30. So it's like done, you know? And so like, that's my boundary. No, I'm not going to talk to you on the phone while I'm picking up my kids. Not going to work. And so being able to say no is great. Being able to let go of things is great. You let go to make room for more. Okay, so what else did I want to quickly talk about today? Okay, all right, so when you are in your highest, like when you are making the money that you want to make, and when you are accomplishing the goals that you want and getting the clients that you want, I want you to picture who you are at that point. Picture who you are and get into that vibe. So like, imagine you having like a $5,000 month or a $5,000 sale, and you going to tell your friend or your partner or anybody that you just did this. Like, how are you feeling? What are you wearing? You know, like, what are you saying? Like, what's your vibe? And really embody that and try to step into that now. Because as you do that, you're going to start attracting things, because that's your highest self. And that's that magnetism energy where it's like, yay, this is so great. And yeah, and that's how people come to you a lot easier than you having to hunt down people and beg them to work with you. And so imagine that this has already happened and you have that vibe, that excitement vibe. And that vibe is going to come through your posts. That vibe is going to come through the content that you create. That vibe is going to come through the products that you even make, right? And so like stepping into that vibe is going to make a world of difference for you and just feels good, right? Okay, what else do you guys need to know today? Cutting down your list. Who do you want to be? I really want you to look through that time audit, and I'm happy to like message each of you one-on-one to really like look at where you're spending your time. And if you have like, I don't know, Chas, where to cut this out, just send me a message either on Messenger or on Instagram or whatever, and we'll figure that out. Because I want to help you work less. I want to help you only work 3 hours a day, and like, or be done at 5. Whatever feels good to you. Right? Like working 3 hours a day feels great to me, but if you like and love to work 8 hours a day, then why not? If you love it and it's working for you, do it. If it's not working, change. And so if you need help figuring out where to cut out time or to do items, yeah, just send me a message. On April 10th, I'm going to be doing a whole a strategic planning session for Q2s, because I'm a big believer in planning and manifesting and watching it come. And so we're going to do a 5-hour planning session on April 10th. And so it's $97 for those in the group. And it's going to be like a fun day. I've had a lot of people did it. We did it in December, so we're going to do it again in April. Just because Easter messed it up. didn't want to do it over Easter weekend, and that's the beginning of Q2. So we got to do it a week later. And so yeah, tomorrow we're going to do a social media calendar. We're going to plan out your posts for like at least a week, if not more. But we want to set up a template and a flow to make posting easier, because once you can schedule, you don't have to think, what am I going to post today? What am I going to post today? Because that takes up space in your mind. And
I just a question about
yeah.
what you guys are using for your planning tools, like in terms of whether it's Planology or whatever you're using.
Yeah, I create my posts on my calendar on Excel, so I'll share that with you guys tomorrow. And then I just use Facebook Creator Studio. I have my Instagram linked to my Facebook page, and it's free, and you can schedule everything on there. And so I use that. I did use Planoly, but I found with Planoly, you have to pay to schedule. Like, you can plan it to make it look all pretty, but then when you actually want to schedule it in advance, you have to then pay for it. And so, but I'm like, Creator Studio is like free. Rachel, do you use anything?
I use Canva, but I don't know if you have to pay, because it's been a while. I pay for mine. It's like $112, I think, for the year.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that feature is available for free. I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. And then you might have to upgrade to just link it right away, but it still allows you to create the content, and it allows you like a little button to put comments in. So that's where I put all of my everything that I want to put for my post, I put in the comments, and then I just copy and paste it, or I'll just link it in if I'm on my mobile device.
Cool. Do you use anything, Shailene?
No, I post most of my content just organically.
Yeah, cool. I like to have a flow of like, I'll talk more about this tomorrow, a flow of like what the general idea of what I'm going to do for my week. And like last night I posted where I wrote like 3 different posts in my notes for the same graphic, because I just like, oh, I got this vibe. So I like to leave room for like my daily inspiration. But to know that, okay, Monday we're going to talk more motivational stuff, or Tuesday is more educational stuff, you know? So, and I have a grid, so it gets not complicated, but it helps me stay focused on that. So anything I can help you with today. So like, really, let's focus on what you are doing to cut down the list today. That was like the big goal today. So feel free to DM me. Happy to work more with you like on that, to get to the amount of hours that feels good for you. Okay? Cool. Is this like a social contract that you're allowed to message me? It's all good. Here to help you. And yeah. All right. So go ahead.
Oh, I'm new to the group, so yeah, I was just wanted to chat with you briefly, maybe after Chaz, just in terms of I just sort of signed up, and then this came up, so I wanted to just explore more about the group. And I know that you do coaching as well on the side.
Yeah.
So
totally.
should I just
yeah, so I'll just stay on, and I'll stop the recording, stop the live. And then we can still chat. Cool, yeah? All righty. Okay, so see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. And if you also want to join in at 11, we're going to talk a little bit about mindset. If you have any mindset things that you want to talk about, Mondays we always talk mindset, Thursdays is strategy. And today, like, I did this post on manifesting, and I'm just loving it. Me and Kristen are doing this, and it's so good. You're like, yeah, I posted it yesterday morning. Do it at the beginning of each month. And but Kristen and I are doing it every day this week, just because we're high achievers. But yeah, it is a good little tool. So check it out. I posted it yesterday morning. And so yeah, so we'll see you guys later. I will stop streaming and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.